For all the HDB and private homeowners, you might be trying to buy and sell concurrently, but you're not sure how to do that because of all the timeline, completion date, stamp duty, taxes, when you have to pay them, or maybe even how to sell ABSD on your second property. Alright, fret not, I'm here to help you through it. Over in this video, I'm going to explain to you all the process and all the potential threats that might blindside you in this process. So without further ado, let's jump into it. For the purpose of this video, let's go through a few terms first because it gets very complicated later on, which is why you're watching, right? This is very important. Okay, now that we've got it out of the way, what should be the first step? Simply put, the first step is to just start selling your property. If your property is not sold, you confirm gonna just jam there. Why? Because if you buy a second property, it's considered as the second property and you'll be gonna slapped with ABSD of 20% if you are SC. So here's an example of how it works.
For Singaporeans, the ABSD rate is 20%, and for SPRs, that will be 30%. Assuming you are the former and you decide to buy a 2.5M property before selling your current home, that means you're going to have to fork out 500k now for ABSD, on top of paying the buyer stamp duty, on top of purchase price of 2.5M. Then, as you all know, first property LTV is 75%. Now, second property LTV becomes 45%. That means you need to down pay 1.375 million. Total upfront cash and CPF needed equals to 1.97 million. For a normal person, that is not doable lah. Where to find 1.9 lying around, right? So unless your papa mama then rich to help sponsor you, then different story.
So how? Like I said, just sell the ABSD and the lower LTV lah. You can only buy a house after you sell your current one. Okay, and now this part is very important. How does the government determine that you have sold your house successfully? It is not the date that you option the OTP of your house, but it's the date where the buyer exercised the OTP of the house. Then you can go and exercise the OTP of the house you're going to buy. This way you'll not be hit with ABSD. Okay, this timeline shown here is the ideal timeline that they are looking for. Pro tip, obtain your purchase OTP only after your buyer has exercised their OTP. How come then? Because if let's say you sell a HDB, the max option fee you receive is $1,000. You go and buy, let's say, a 2.5 million house. The option fee you pay is 1%, which is $25,000. If your buyer pulls out, it also forces you to pull out your purchase, and you have a net loss of $24,000. I actually had two friends that wanted to buy a house with long option period and then sell their house. Long option period means that instead of the usual 14 days given by the seller grants them, let's say, a 3-month period in exchange for more option money. That way they have more time to sell their house. But they've already seen the house, they like the house, they're all ready to commit to the purchase already. But I still go and cop block myself and tell my friends not to do it. Why? But what if after all those months I tell you, hey, wow, sorry, your house really cannot sell, but you have already paid an option fee of, let's say, 3 to 5% to the seller already. Then your money is stuck there. 3% is already $75,000, right? So your next alternative would be to drop the price of your house to hurry up get it sold. And I'm sure you wouldn't want that. Even if you get it sold that way, it's also very thin, right? Also, true story, I had another friend last year who actually bought a house first without selling his house, which is exactly what I just told you not to do. Okay, so he actually in the end couldn't sell his house in time and he lost $26,000 in deposits. Yeah, so that is a very painful lesson and something which you can totally avoid. So the moral of the story is you should always buy a house after you sell a house, right? And also importantly, why never engage me, right? If you had engaged me, this shit wouldn't have happened, right? Okay, but jokes aside, he was trying to support his friend that is just a new agent, and that's very nice of him. But yeah, importantly, always sell a house first and then buy. Okay, always remember that. Okay, so assume you plan everything swee, you follow all the advice I give you until now, and then completion day come. Okay, completion day of the house you sell means you get cash proceeds. Completion of the house you buy means you need to pay the seller cash proceeds. Okay, so in this scenario 1, if your house complete first, you receive the cash, but now you're homeless because the house you buy haven't complete yet. Then how? Let's go to scenario 2. Scenario 2, the house you buy complete first, and then the house you sell complete later. Okay, means during this period shown here, you have a house to stay. But then, because the house you buy complete, you need to pay money first, but you have no money to pay because your house is still stuck in house S. Then how? So for scenario 3, generally when you're selling a house, we ask for a 3 month extension from your buyer. Meaning that when your house complete, you don't need to hand over the keys to your buyers first. You can wait about 3 weeks and then your house B completes, so you have money to pay for your house B. And after that, you have about 2 months plus to renovate your house B, get everything sui ready, move into house B, and then you hand over the keys of your house S. This ensures that you have money to pay for the completion of house B, while at the same time, you also can have a roof over your head during this period. So you will realize that this process is actually very mafan, complicated, and need to be very well timed. Which is why I generally ask my friend, if you let me do the selling, I help you do the buying, so I can plan your whole timeline of purchase sui. Okay, because if I only do one part, I don't know what you're going to do for the other part, and you might just screw up the whole thing. Then what happens if you DIY and the house you purchase completes already, but the house, all your proceeds is still stuck in the house you're trying to sell? Then how? There's an alternative called the bridging loan to save people like you, and if you're not sure, just PM. Okay, so far we have been talking about you trying to sell and buy concurrently to buy a private home. But what if you are selling a HDB and trying to move into another HDB? Okay, there's a simpler option for you called contra. Contra, meaning your house B and house S complete on the same day. And HDB will help you to transfer money from your sales proceeds directly to the person who sold you their flat. It's a very seamless process. However, you need to ensure that you are not taking a bank loan. And the person you sold your house to, plus the person you bought your house from, they are both not doing contra. Basically, out of the 3 parties involved, you are the only one who is doing contra. Congratulations for coming to the last part. If you have understood everything so far, I'm very happy for you. But if you are still lost like a shit, like most people would, okay, don't worry, you are not alone. Just drop a comment below and I'll reply to you, or you can PM me at 9227 6466.